Good evening, everyone that is watching. This is 15 March 2022, and today we are looking at the story that is happening and unfolding in Zimbabwe. Welcome to this program. Today we're just 10 days away from the elections, the by-elections, which seeks to replace about 28 parliamentary seats and all in all, it's about 132, which constitute of 132. The others are councillors who either they were recalled or some of them were deceased. But anyway, today the focus is on Douglas Mwonzora, and some of you voted. You've voted that we need to talk about Douglas Mwonzora. Also his rally that he held on Sunday. So we want to find out who is Douglas Mwonzora, and we also want to look at if he is somebody that we should ignore, even if there are issues that some people don't agree with Douglas Mwonzora. There is that need for people to not ignore Douglas Mwonzora. Based on a number of reasons that I'm going to state here. So, first of all, we want to find out who is Douglas Mwonzora and where did he come from? Has he always been this guy who is like a traitor, or he has betrayed the struggle? Some might put it that way. If you check the facts about Douglas Mwonzora, first of all, you want to find out who is Douglas Mwonzora, and I'm going to give you all those facts now. Douglas Mwonzora, he has a historical background of being involved somewhat in the struggle. He is a nephew of the liberation hero Rekai Tangwena, and sometimes he actually mentions how they rescued the former president Robert Mugabe to escape to Mozambique. He had to pass through Chief Rekai Tangwena, who was the uncle for Douglas Mwonzora. So in 1988, he also suffered racism as a young person. In 1988, he joined the student union at the University of Zimbabwe. After joining the student union at the University of Zimbabwe, he then, in 1990, through Edgar Tekere, when they formed a party called Zimbabwe Union Movement, which was called ZUM then. He drafted the constitution, but the current president then, Robert Mugabe, was against. He wanted one-party state, hence the crashing of the party of Joshua Nkomo, the ZAPU, which was then unified to become one party, ZANU-PF. So he was there. And then he was jailed a number of times, way before what we are seeing, the political persecution. So the political persecution, he has suffered it for over maybe, if we can put it, maybe over 3 decades, if we can put it that way. He was also a legal advisor for Morgan Tsvangirai, and he for this Zimbabwe Congress of Trade Unions before they formed the MDC party. So he has been there on the sidelines. And I want you to understand this so that you know why you should not forget Douglas Mwonzora. He has seen the political space of ZANU-PF and has seen how things always play out to be in the end. So having been that guy, he also was then a treasurer general after MDC was formed. He was also part and parcel of the forming of MDC as a legal advisor. And then he also won some victories for the opposition. If you remember, in the year 2000, when the referendum was there, he campaigned against the referendum. And the voting of no, it was through the works of Douglas Mwonzora. Before that, he also took the state to court over the Political Parties Act, which allowed the government to support political parties, whereby there is distribution of money, political party funding. It was fought by Douglas Mwonzora. So he also chaired the COPAC, which was initiated in 2009 when there was drafting of the constitution. So we cannot say Douglas Mwonzora, he has been a sellout all his life. No, he has been in parties, of course, that have defragmented, like the one for Edgar Tekere, the one for Margaret Dongo, and the one that they had with David Coulthard, who is the MDC, who is the Triple C Secretary General, Treasurer General. They also formed a party that was called Forum, and they were part of that party, which was all defragmented, and then they joined the MDC with the likes of Morgan Tsvangirai. So I want to get in just to be a little bit of a devil's advocate here and try to make you understand where this guy is coming from. And then we're going to conclude this matter. One thing that you must understand about what Douglas Mwonzora has seen, he has seen the other side of ZANU-PF that some of us, we did not see. The maybe 90s generation or the 2000 generation, we have not seen that part, whereby fighting Robert Mugabe was something like that was unheard of. People would never dare to confront Robert Mugabe because of the tyranny his nature. So he has seen that, and then he has seen the defragmentation of MDC from the likes of Mtambara and the likes of when there was the party that was now with the Welshman Ncube and all of that, the moving out of Tendai Biti and forming PDP, all that. He was loyal to MDC. So he was there. He knows. And what I want you to understand is that, and I want to give you this example. The example that I want to give is, have you seen that, like, let's say somebody has started a company. There is somebody that is loyal to the company for a long time. But those people that are loyal to the company, they tend to make like grave mistakes. Like, for example, I can give you an example, like the person, like the current president, he was loyal to Robert Mugabe for a long time. And a lot of things, like, he was trusted. And one of the days, he changed. And can we say the change that he did, was it for the good or for the bad? You be the judge. So you can, if you are loyal to someone for a long time, there is always a desire to say, I want a reward, I want a reward, I want a reward. But in this case, you can see Douglas Mwonzora was there in the struggle of fighting against the ZANU-PF system from 1988. And then they joined hands with the likes of Nelson Chamisa. They were still coming from school. And then he being overtaken by Nelson Chamisa, and Nelson Chamisa now assuming the presidency. I really think that someone would think, I think I'm being, taken for granted. I've fought in this struggle. This is what Douglas Mwonzora is. He felt betrayed, that even though he was fighting side by side with Morgan Tsvangirai in the days of National Constitutional Assembly and the likes, with the likes of Love Momaduku. You saw Love Momaduku then defected from the MDC after the death of Morgan Tsvangirai. So it shows you that these guys, it's not like they were planted by ZANU-PF. It is pure frustration. But when somebody is frustrated, your enemy is always looking for an opportunity. And this is how Douglas Mwonzora had the frustration. If you hear him talk, you can hear that his frustrations are genuine. But the question is, are these frustrations, like I was listening to him in his address on Sunday, he was saying that we want a dialogue with the ZANU-PF. But what you can see is that dialogue from the 1980s with ZANU-PF, it was always ZANU-PF who was always win in those dialogues, because ZANU-PF, they are not coming to a dialogue in a sorry state, just like what you see in the case of the CODESA here in South Africa, whereby they were deciding the constitution. When the apartheid government was having a dialogue with ANC, they were having a dialogue from a point of disadvantage of saying, okay, we are surrendering. ZANU-PF have never had that. It was always the other party that would come to them and say, no, we are surrendering. We don't want any more violence. Let's end this. So if you want to dialogue with ZANU-PF, you have to dialogue with ZANU-PF from a point of advantage. So his fact of saying that they need to be dialogue, yes, there is need for a dialogue, but you need to have a dialogue with ZANU-PF from a point of advantage. That way you can negotiate with ZANU-PF in a better way. Because from what I see from Douglas Mwonzora is that he looks at the things, the facts that are on the ground, and the previous losses and the previous, like from the 2000, 2002, 2006, 2005, 2008, and all these losses and all the chicanery and all the cheating that happens. He has seen it all. And to some extent, one would say, okay, I am fed up of this. We are still going to fight the same system. And looking at our system right now in Zimbabwe, there is the arm of the army, which is purely the ruling party. So that arm of the army, it cannot be negotiated with from a point of disadvantage. Otherwise, they will not understand. But if they can be negotiated like what happened in 2008, they had no choice because the system had collapsed. Things were in disarray. The government could see that there was now need for a dialogue because things were bad. Like the inflation had gone out of the window, and the numbers of the currency was falling every day. So that was what is needed. If you want to negotiate, you need to negotiate with a little bit of power. Even though ZANU-PF used violence to kill people and everything, but it was a sign of desperation, a sign of showing that they have no other choice, but they have to sit at the negotiating table and negotiate with the opposition party. Because mind you, by that, when the runoff was held, Robert Mugabe had won. Even though he won, but he knew that it was not a fair game. So he was at a disadvantage. So that is what I'm trying to say here. So then the second thing that I want you us to watch or to look at is that let's get to the frustration of 2018. There is the frustration of 2018. If you look at the frustration that happened in 2018, if we check 2018, when Douglas Mwonzora was interviewed by a lot of people, by journalists, you could see that there was that feeling that we can dialogue, we can salvage something out of this. And remember, he was also instrumental. He was also instrumental in that Operation Restore Legacy, because when the Operation Restore Legacy, they tried to involve everyone because everyone was trying to sympathize with the then vice president, the current president. So he was instrumental in that. And having known some other comrades in the party or some other people that we once worked in the unity government, there was information that would be filtered to the opposition that they used in order to galvanize people. Douglas Mwonzora was there. So he was that kind of a guy who could hear what is happening in the camp of ZANU-PF and hear what is happening in the camp of MDC. But where the compromise happened, or where he lost it, was when he chose power over reasoning. That's where it all happened. That's where the problem is, because in as much as there is that knowledge of knowing that in our current situation, it is very difficult to negotiate with the ruling party from a point of disadvantage, whereby you are saying you have lost the election and there is no enough evidence to support that you did not win the election. That in itself is a point of disadvantage. That's why you saw even the way how the talks in 2002 collapsed between the ruling party and the MDC. Then there was talks that actually almost happened, but those talks they collapsed. Why? Because they were talking from a point of disadvantage. So the impatience of Douglas Mwonzora to say, let's get to 2023 as MDC. If they had gotten to 2023 as MDC without any hiccups, I can tell you they would have beaten ZANU-PF, because as we stand now, the strength that ZANU-PF had in 2018 is totally different from the strength that it has now. And it's going to bring me to my next point. We're going to the 2023 election. Believe you me, this is going to be a tool that ZANU-PF is going to use in 2023. They are going to use the tool of a splitted opposition, because you saw the people that were at the rally in Zimbabwe grounds. Yes, those people can be used as a tool in order to make sure that there is a percentage that can be taken. If you remember what happened in 2008, where there was Zuma Mavambo part of Dr. Simba Makon. If that part was not there, we wouldn't be having a runoff. So it is very, very important for the politicians like Douglas Mwonzora to swallow their pride and say, where is the strength? Where can we find the strength? This issue of saying we are running with constitutionalism, let's go and negotiate with ZANU-PF from a disadvantage point, it's not going to work. At the end of the day, the people that are in the ruling party will not feel the need to change. They won't feel the need to change. But if they are being negotiated by people who are at an advantage position, they wouldn't feel the need to change. You understand? So that is my analysis. I believe that Douglas Mwonzora, he lost it there. Then let us look at what happened on Sunday. What happened on Sunday is the busing of people. You saw the videos that were circulating and the people that were stranded. All that. It shows you that the hand of ZANU-PF is there. But what prompted that is all the facts that I've been telling you, that the frustration worked in the hands of the ruling party, because the ruling party, they have all the apparatus, they have all the intelligence, they can find issues up, they can get into the opposition and find issues that they can use as ammunition against you, because they've got intelligence. Do you know, for your own information, that in the driver for Mwonzora from 2000 up to 2003 was from the presidential guard, and the MDC leaders, none of them could pick it. So the MDC under Mwonzora was infiltrated because there was no one who was in the party who had those capabilities of picking up that we are being spied on. Do you think that the likes of Douglas Mwonzora was part of that? I don't think so. But what I believe is it was because of frustration of saying, I came way back with the struggle, and now I'm being sidelined. I'm not getting any post. I'm not going to, when we get to 2023, what am I going to get? I'm not even going to get any post. This is the frustration that then prompted him to go and side with the ruling party. But it's not going to work to his advantage. It's not going to benefit the Zimbabweans, because the rule that is there is they are not apologetic about what they are doing. They think that they are moving in the right direction. They are working towards a good cause for us. But the truth of the matter is they are not. So how would that work to our disadvantage? Mwonzora, there are two things that are going to happen in the upcoming elections. He's going to be used inadvertently by ZANU-PF to work as the one that is splitting the votes. He's also going to work because he still have links inside ZANU-PF, and ZANU-PF, they are trying to support him. And you can see they give him airplay even on ZBC. That shows you that if they can't give any airplay to one of their arch rivals, which is Nelson Chamisa, why would they give to somebody? You know, and you have heard the leaders in ZANU-PF, some of them saying that, you know, somebody like Mwonzora, he's a nation builder, he's somebody who is willing to dialogue and all of that. So if you see such, yes, we need politics that are not toxic that we had, but the politics that are not toxic can only work when there's somebody who is remorseful. In this case, we are seeing that the ruling party is not remorseful at all about their actions of 2008, 2018, and all these allegations that we're finding, like the likes of Gomba being arrested, the likes of Job Scala being arrested, the likes of Opochimon being arrested, and all these things that are happening. They are not apologetic. They are not apologetic about Kukura Hundi. They are not apologetic about anything. So if you see a party like that, then you know that you are in a problem. And you can't negotiate with somebody like that, because in them, they are feeling that they are right. So the problem that we're going to have is, in 2023, we're going to have a divided opposition that is going to be simply used by the ZANU-PF to split the votes and work in their advantage. That is the problem. So my desire is for Douglas Mwonzora to say, if he loses this election, just like what the guys in Malawi did, when they saw that they lost to Chakwera, to Bingwa Mutharika, they went together as a coalition, and they beat the incumbent. So that's how they managed to salvage something. But in our case, what is needed is these guys like Douglas Mwonzora and other political parties that are there, they need to put their hands down and say, what is the reason for these elections? What are we trying to achieve? Let's build a coalition. Let's come in, since the doors are still open for Triple C. Let these guys come. Not because of what they did. We know what they did is actually atrocious. They allowed the ruling party to amend the constitution. But going into 2023, you don't need a lot of parties, because the lot of parties will work in favor of ZANU-PF. Let's be realistic. So I would want to say, as I conclude this discussion, that Douglas Mwonzora, he is a force to reckon with, because of what he did in the struggle. Some of the things that he has fought, they are actually crucial to our liberation, to our democracy, I mean. But that becomes immaterial if one chooses the wrong side. Which wrong side am I talking about? If then he chooses his ego rather than the will of the people, or what works for the people, then he is now betraying the struggle. So that is what needs to happen in 2023. Douglas Mwonzora needs to eat a humble pie and rather be part of the opposition, not fighting the other opposition, but supporting the other opposition to say, okay, I might not need to contest, but I support. The likes of Jacob Mugaruvume, they are not contesting this election. He is a leader of Transform Zimbabwe, but they're not contesting in these elections. Why? They're supporting the party that is already there. So that's what we need. He might not be given a position, but I mean a position or a post in parliament or somewhere, but he needs to then say, after these elections, I need to surrender and give opportunity to one person. Then what can we do if Douglas Mwonzora does not budge and thinks that, no, I'm still gonna go and vote for the be contesting the upcoming elections of 2023? What needs to happen is, as the children of Zimbabwe, we need to register in our numbers. Look at what happened in Zambia. They went in and they voted in their numbers. After voting in their numbers, that was the tool that they used in order to remove the current government. So there's need for people to register in their numbers, to register in big numbers, and the big numbers that we have are going to help in the upcoming elections. So that's all that I have. I want to hear your thoughts about this, about Douglas Mwonzora, and why we should not ignore him, and why himself must not pursue to become the opposition in the opposition, because it's not going to work to the advantage of the people. It's not going to put him near the power. It's not going to improve the lives of the people. So these are the things that I wanted to say. We recognize what he did in the struggle, what he did in the in opposition. That cannot be negated. He has done a lot of things that we can say, okay, he did this, but those things are going to be watered down by what he did in the past 2 years. But how can he amend that? He can amend that by stepping down and allowing the one that is popular, that can garner up votes, that can allow the ruling party to be at a disadvantage. That's the only way. Otherwise, trying to go in through other ways, ZANU-PF will not be sorry. They will actually walk away as victors, and people will still continue to suffer. So thank you so much. Let me just read some of your comments as I close this. Elisha M. Jetro, all these Stone Age elections are well known now. Everyone in Zimbabwe is suffering, and we are well informed about everything about CIOs. Thank you, Elisha M. Morom Zukuru, Madison Chigonde, how are you? Okay. Edwin Kopito, thank you. Shingi J. All right, everyone. Well presented, Jetro. Good analysis. Thank you. Thank you. That's better than Kambako. Kambako is my brother, but you know, we just differ on opinions and decide that he seems to be supporting these days. But anyway, Jack Ngwenya, thanks for wonderful sharing. Did the Binga rally take place? The Binga rally did not take place. It's very unfortunate that it did not take place. It was banned. So the CCC Binga rally did not take place. The one that took place is Cholocho one. So that's what happened. Right, who else is here? Tubegani Maduna Mwonzora is trying to achieve anything but just for the money from ZANU-PF. Zimbabwe, he doesn't have people of Zimbabwe at heart. Let him stay with his opposition. We don't need any drama anymore. Yeah, if he continues with the current opposition, it's going to be used by the ruling party. Whether we like it or not, they're going to use it to their advantage, because politics is a dirty game, and when you play, you can play dirty as you like. That's how politicians work. So we must understand the nature of our politics and the nature of our opposition and the nature of our ruling party, that they can use anything. If they can find something out of nothing, you must know that if they can get anything, they will use it to their advantage. So as Zimbabweans, we need to wise up as Mwonzora, he needs to wise up. He doesn't need any warning from the people anymore. He needs to know that anything that is going to use anything that is going to do in the upcoming elections, it's going to be used against him. But if he is going to say, guys, I've lost these elections, let me take a chill pill and support the main opposition, then we are going somewhere and it's going to be an advantage. If he doesn't do that, the CCC then now needs to galvanize a lot of people. And I'm just going to let you, I'm just going to come back now. Just want to make sure that I charge and then I finish my last point that I wanted to make. The last point, I just want to make sure that I don't run out of power as I'm talking. So let's listen to this song as we are getting into this interlude. But I also want to hear your thoughts and your comments before we close this. Right, I'm back. This guy is called Jabora. You can go and check his YouTube channel. That's where this song is. It's called Memberero. Please go and support our brother so that he can have more views and produce other type of music. In any clear, I love CCC, but I give my unbiased analysis. Even though I love CCC, I a critical thinker. I look at things. Even I look at the worst case scenario in most cases. So that's who I am. But anyway, to those that have been watching, what I wanted to say is that there is one thing that we are not looking at, which we can do as Zimbabweans. I was giving an example and I posted on my Facebook page and I said something that, do you know that we as Zimbabweans, we can actually fund the struggle, to make sure that everyone goes out there and vote. I've engaged with a number of people here in South Africa and I told them, guys, let's go back home and vote. And they said, no, it's just one and the same thing. No, it's not going to work. But what I want to tell you is that here in South Africa, there is a group called AfriForum. Some of you know AfriForum that went to that wanted Grace Mugabe to be arrested. That's the reason why Grace Mugabe has never stepped a foot here in South Africa after the incident that happened in Sandton. That is that group. It's a group of Afrikaner people. These people, they are contributing 50 Rand per month. 50 Rand per month. They have built a university. It was built in 1 year. It was done. These Afrikaner people. They can tackle any case. They are the ones that are going against Julius Malema right now in court. Right. So what we need is, just imagine these guys are contributing 50 rand per individual on a monthly basis. If we are to just be ambiguous about our number here in South Africa, some say that we are close to 1 million Zimbabweans that are living in South Africa, undocumented. Let's take that number and say each one contributes 50 rand, which is pretty much $3 or $3.20, right? We put 50 rand. That we are looking, if we just say 50 rand, already we are close to, if we just work with a figure of 1 million, we are already looking at 50 million rands, right? Which is around $35 million. That money is enough to fund those who are saying that I can't go home and vote. Can hire buses and people can go home and register to vote, right? That is what is needed, because most of the people, they cannot find money, especially now during the time of COVID, going back home and coming back. Some people are getting stuck. But if there is a fund, and we can do this, if we can fund this struggle for ourselves, it will be very easy. Because I think if you can check my analysis that I did few days ago about Nelson Chamisa, because what is going to happen is, in the next coming few months, people are going to keep on registering to vote, and the hype is going to go up. And the business people will be watching from a distance, saying, oh, this young man is going to come in, he's going to anotopinda chet. And what are they going to do? They're going to approach him and say, look, here's the money. We know that you have what it takes to win this election, so we're going to fund you, right? But at the end of the day, they are protecting their business interests. Just like what we are seeing now, B and everything. These things, they will come back to haunt us if we don't act now. So I think and I believe that Mwonzora, if he doesn't back down, he is perpetuating the suffering of Zimbabweans. If he backs down, he is redeeming himself because of what he did in the past. He worked for us not to have a one-party state. The reason why we're having opposition right now, it is because of Douglas Mwonzora. He was part of that, of drafting that constitution, taking it to court and winning it. And with the likes of Edgar Tekere, because the government was bent on saying, we don't want another party, we just have to be ZANU-PF and ZANU-PF alone. He was part of that, and he was jailed a number of times, he was tortured. So he went through all that. He could not have gone through all that just for him to sell out now. But what I'm saying is that it's like a scenario that I painted to you, that there are people who can be loyal to a company until they betray the company. This is what we have with Douglas Mwonzora. He might felt frustrated for what happened when he saw the likes of Nelson Chamisa coming and overtaking him and taking the positions, and that might not have augured well with him. And even the likes of Thokozani Kupe, the same thing, because Thokozani Kupe was part of ZCTU with the likes of Douglas Mwonzora. So they've known each other for a long time. And the likes of Love Momaduk, they were part of, they were part of National Constitutional Assembly, fighting for the rights of people. So these individuals, they might have been frustrated, and that frustration have led them to what they have done now. And it is futile for them to take their frustrations of what happened, what have not materialized to them politically in the stint that they have been with the party, and then sell out the struggle for the people. Because at the end of the day, people are not going to forgive them for what they did. But there is an opportunity for them to redeem themselves if they step out after these elections, and which I know, if all things be fair in a perfect world, they are going to lose this election. They might not even get 1 seat. But if that happens, are they going to continue fighting? Because there still be senators in the upper house in our parliament. There will still be senators, like Morgan Komish will be still a senator, Douglas Mwonzora will still be a senator, his seat will be still there. But are they going to continue fighting, or they are going to say we're foregoing all these things and fight as a one opposition unit in 2023? But if they don't do that, our plan is, let's be on the charge to register to vote, registering to vote. I'm going to register to vote and make sure that I vote in 2023. That's the only way, because if we continue, hoping that this struggle is going to be fought by other people that are going to come from somewhere else, we're seriously mistaken. So thank you. I want to hear your thoughts as I close. Oga Javengwa, jealous destroyed Mwonzora. He should have been patient. Unfortunately, he sold out. That's very true. Sinot, is it? Okay, thank you. Thanks so much. Keep it up. Thank you, Nyasha Grace, as well. So that is what I wanted to say to you guys, and keep on supporting the channel. We want to keep on giving you analysis, and we're going to be having guests like we used to, and we're going to continue having this conversation until the elections. And we're hopeful that by 2023 we will be one of the biggest channels in Zimbabwe. That's our goal. We want to be one of the biggest channels where we do analysis, where people can come and air their views, and we talk about these things, and we find our way. Because the more we share information, the more we share ideas, the more that we actually find each other in these platforms. So that's what I want. That's my goal, and that's what I want to see in the upcoming elections. So thank you so much to everyone that is supporting, to everyone that is watching. That's all that I had, and I hope to see you on the next episode. And we're going to be having this live broadcast every day until the day of the election. And to those that have been supporting our channel, JCTV Africa is now on 12,000 subscribers. So I'm also grateful to that. We must keep on moving, and we talk about these issues. If there's anything that you want us to talk about, please feel free to contact me on the platforms, which is even on the Zim social network. You can contact me on JCTV Africa on our WhatsApp. There is a WhatsApp there on JCTV Africa Facebook. If you're watching it on JCTV Africa Facebook, there is a WhatsApp number there, and you can get in touch. If there's anything that you want us to talk about, we can talk about that. I will see you on the next episode, guys. It's bye for now.
Tinovota tigadzire zvinhu zviri kusota, hatidi vanosara, hatidi vanoshota, hapana kana wane anosara, ite setinofota kuti nyika yese